Apple is deleting evidence right now. Not a rumor, not a mock-up, an actual internal leak. Real files tied to one of Apple's biggest manufacturing partners. And the second it hit the internet, Apple didn't just ignore it. They went into full-blown panic mode. Takedowns everywhere. Which, if you know anything about how Apple operates, tells you one thing immediately. It was real. And once you actually look at what leaked, it gets stranger, because this isn't just, here's what the new iPhone looks like. This is a phone that's quietly telling on itself. Every weird design choice in this leak is a clue. And by the end of this video, those clues are going to add up to something a lot bigger than a new iPhone. So here's the question worth sitting with before we go any further. If this leak was nothing, why is Apple acting like it's everything? Let's find out. Here's the first thing that shows up, and at first, it makes no sense. The phone is thicker. Now, normally that's not news. Phones get thinner every year. That's the whole trend. Every year thinner. So when a leak shows the opposite happening, that's not an accident. Apple doesn't accidentally make a phone bigger. That's a decision. And the thickest part of all, the camera bump. The biggest one we have ever seen on a Pro iPhone. At first glance, that reads like a downgrade, a step backward. But hold that thought, because here's where it stops being a flaw and starts being a clue. Because a bigger camera bump means a bigger sensor, and a bigger sensor opens the door to something Apple has never put in an iPhone before: a variable aperture lens. The kind of thing that used to require an actual DSLR, a physical ring you'd twist by hand to control exactly how much light hits the sensor. Apple is trying to fold that into your pocket. So the thickness isn't a flaw, it's a fingerprint, evidence of a much bigger camera ambition. But that's clue one, and on its own, it's not enough to prove anything. Then a second leak drops, the battery numbers, and they're up too. Slightly bigger cell for the SIM version, slightly bigger again for the eSIM only model. Now stack that next to the thicker body, bigger battery, bigger cooling chamber, bigger camera. 3 separate leaks, same direction. That's not a coincidence anymore, that's a pattern. But the part that almost got buried in this whole story, it's not the back of the phone at all. It's the front, and that's the part that says the most. The dynamic island is shrinking, noticeably. On its own, that just sounds like a nice cosmetic upgrade, a little polish, but then something completely unrelated lines up with it. And it shouldn't. Weeks before this leak, Apple showed off a brand new Siri interface. On the iPad, it's a perfect circle. On the Mac, a perfect circle. Watch, Vision Pro, same shape everywhere, except the iPhone. On the iPhone, that same interface gets stretched into an oval, squeezed, distorted, because the current dynamic island is too wide underneath it to let it be a circle. Sit with that for a second. Apple designed a piece of software that looks broken on their own current flagship. That doesn't happen by accident. Apple pairs hardware and software. That's literally the story of how the dynamic island was invented in the first place. So when their own software hints at a smaller island, and then a leak independently shows a smaller island, that's not a coincidence. That's Apple accidentally showing its hand 2 different ways, through 2 different leaks, months apart. And that's when the real question shows up. Why would a piece of software matter enough for Apple to redesign a piece of hardware around it? Here's why. Because Siri isn't just getting a new look. Apple quietly said something out loud for the first time ever, and almost nobody clipped it. They're going to start locking their most advanced AI features to their most expensive devices. Not eventually, not maybe. Starting now. Today that list is short. A more expressive Siri voice, smarter dictation, but that's based on what current hardware can do. The A20 Pro is getting a new 2nm chip, a serious leap in efficiency and power, which means the real question isn't what today's exclusive features are. It's what happens when a chip like that unlocks features nobody else's iPhone can even run. But here's the catch, and it's not a technical one, it's a financial one. RAM and storage prices have exploded over the last 2 years, at a rate almost nobody saw coming, and Apple can't just quietly eat that cost forever. This past week, they already raised prices across their entire lineup. Average increase? Over $240 per product. That's not a small adjustment. That's a company recalibrating in real time. So follow that math to where it actually lands, and the number people are converging on for the A20 Pro's starting price gets uncomfortable fast. And this is the part that should stop you. Apple hasn't denied any of it. They've confirmed prices are going up. The only open question left is, by how much? Which reframes everything you just heard about cameras and AI. Because a redesigned camera system, one built around a new Samsung-made sensor instead of Sony, and that variable aperture aperture lens? That's not a cheap feature to add. Estimates put the added camera cost at roughly 50% more than what Apple pays today. And here's where it gets weird again. Go open the current iOS 27 camera app right now. None of this shows up. No new widgets, no customization. It looks basic, almost suspiciously basic for a phone with a rebuilt camera system. So either the leaks are wrong, or Apple is hiding something in plain sight. It's the second one. Internal builds already exist. Special versions of iOS 27, running only on A20 Pro hardware, with a fully rebuilt camera app nobody outside Apple has seen yet. Built for hardware that hasn't even shipped, which means the version of iOS 27 sitting on your phone right now isn't the real one. It's the incomplete one. Apple is deliberately holding features back until the hardware that justifies them actually exists. So here's where all of this lands. The thicker body, the bigger battery, the smaller island, the AI exclusivity, the price hikes, the hidden camera app. None of these are separate stories. They're one story. Apple is engineering a hardware and software gap on purpose and pricing it accordingly. And if that was the whole leak, it'd already be a big video. It's not the whole leak, because buried inside that same iOS 27 code is something that has nothing to do with the Pro at all. Something that, on a normal iPhone, makes 0 sense. Fold state, angle degrees, a counter for multiple displays, on a phone that has only ever had one screen. And then there's the line almost nobody caught. During a developer talk, Apple mentioned, almost in passing, that apps should be built to dynamically resize as display sizes change. On a phone with one fixed screen, that sentence means literally nothing, unless the screen isn't fixed anymore. The foldable iPhone is real, not probably. The code is already saying it, and once you start looking at the shape of it, it's stranger than anything Apple has released before. A short widescreen once opened, closer to an iPad mini's proportions than an iPhone's. And for the first time in foldable phone history, there's a real claim: the crease, the thing that's made every foldable look cheap since the category began, is going to be almost invisible. That would be a legitimate engineering flex if it weren't paired with something odd. 2 cameras, just 2. No telephoto. None of the advanced camera system we just spent half this video talking about, on what will likely be a $2,000 plus phone. Apple's most expensive iPhone ever. At first, that reads like a downgrade, a corner cut, but it's not. It's a constraint. There simply isn't room inside a hinge that thin for anything more. Apple chose thinness over camera power, on purpose, on their flagship of flagships. So put it all together, a Pro model getting quietly bulkier to hide an AI and camera leap it's going to charge you more for. A foldable getting quietly thinner, at the cost of the one thing Apple usually never compromises on. 2 phones, 2 completely opposite trade-offs. Same company, same September. So here's the actual question worth asking. Is this just what happens when a phone matures? Or is Apple deliberately building 2 versions of the future and letting the price tag decide which one?